So we're gonna go over pulling the slack out of the barbell. So there's two components that we're pulling the slack out of. One is the barbell. So between the weight plate and the barbell here, there's a little bit of space, okay? So we want to take that space out between the plate and the barbell. So there's a slack in here, okay? But then there's also a slack in our cells and basically our arms, okay? So our arms, we want to make them taut, all right? So if you think of your arms as in, it's kind of like a rope. So if you were to pull both sides of the rope really hard, then the rope gets taut, right? And it becomes very like stiff, okay? If you bring the rope in, then it's not stiff and the kind of rope sags. Using that analogy, our arm is the rope. One end is getting pulled by this end where our hand is connected to. Then the other end is being pulled by connecting to our shoulder. So if we're pulling on the bar and then this is connected to the shoulder, we can get a taut arm and no like bend in the elbow. So when I'll turn like this. So when I'm pulling the slack out the bar, I want to be high like this. So my chest is high, okay? And then when I pull the slack out, you can see that there's no kink in my elbow. Whereas if I'm kind of close like this, all right, there's slack in my body. So if I was to lift, all right, my body will go as I go to pull this butt off the floor, what's going to happen? Before the weight plates break off the floor, because there's slack in my body, or we can say slack in my system, if I went to pull this really hard, what's going to happen is my body's going to go up to here first, and then the weights will break off the floor. So it's going to look quite jerky. So if I try to do like a demo of that, watch this. I'm not going to take the slack out. I'm just going to be low and just pull and then yank on the bar. Okay, you can see my body kind of looks jerky, and there's slack in my system. So when we're going to pull the slack out the bar, what we want to do is, one, when we're down here, after I've set my correct hip height, I want to put my chest high. What that's doing, that is going to make my arms long, all right? So I'm going to get my chest high, and then from that, then I can pull on the bar, okay? If my chest is not high when I do that and I'm here, okay, I can pull on the bar, but there's still slack in my arms. So high chest, and then you just pull on the bar. You don't really have to think of retracting your shoulder blades, okay? That kind of happens automatically when if I turn this way, you're probably able to see my upper back. When I pull on the bar hard, watch my upper back. You can see my upper back. The muscles get tense already. So I don't have to really think of retracting my shoulder blade. Just put your chest high and pull the bar so you can hear the click, and you're pulling in the direction that you were trying to pull the bar up towards the ceiling, okay? And when you do that slack pull, you want to do it like as hard as you can. Obviously, if the weight's light, then the bar's going to fly off the floor. But when there's like a significant amount of weight on the bar, when you pull that slack, you'll hear the click between the bar and the weight plate. Okay, so if you couple high chest with taking the click out of the barbell, then you've pulled the slack out the bar well. So it'll kind of look like high chest, get the click. Doing all in one movement of the deadlift. High chest, Take the click out. High chest, take the click out. Another giveaway that you've done it properly is that when you stand up, it's basically silent. You don't want to have the click at the same time that you're standing up, because what you've probably done is you've taken the slack out and stood up at the same time. After you take the slack out of the bar, hold that position for a second, just to keep that tension in the upper back, okay? Hold for a second and then stand up. So there should be a delay between the slack pull to when you stand up. What I like to do is after I take the slack pull, I'm holding it hard. As I'm holding it hard, that's when I take in my breath, because it gives me that delay between the slack pull and the standing up, rather than taking the slack out and standing up at the same time.